Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My beloved brothers and sisters, today I want to remind you of something many of us forget. And that is, stop worrying and let Allah lead you. We live in a world where stress, anxiety and fear seem to surround us from all directions. Whether it's our finances, our health, our future, our families or even our past, we tend to carry so much on our shoulders. And sometimes it becomes too heavy, too overwhelming. But let me ask you something. Who is in control? Is it really you or is it the one who created you? Allah says in the Quran, and whoever puts their trust in Allah, then He is sufficient for them. What does this mean, my brothers and sisters? It means that your job is not to have all the answers. Your job is not to solve every problem on your own. Your job is to do your best and then let Allah take over. Let Him lead. Let Him handle what you cannot. You see, many of us say we trust Allah. But when something goes wrong, we panic, we rush, we complain, we question. But true tawakkul, true reliance means calmness in chaos. It means your heart is at peace even when life is not, because you know that Allah never makes a mistake. Sometimes things won't go your way, and that's okay. Sometimes you'll lose something you really wanted, and that's okay too. Because when Allah closes one door, it's not to punish you, it's to protect you, it's to redirect you. It's to give you better than what you thought you needed. There were times in your life when you made plans and Allah changed them. And later you looked back and said, Alhamdulillah. That was the best thing that ever happened to me. So don't just say, I believe, live like you believe. Walk with trust, sleep with trust, breathe with trust. If you are struggling right now with health, with family, with money, with life, remind yourself, Allah sees, Allah knows, Allah cares. And let me tell you this, you are not alone. The Prophet Muhammad went through moments where things looked hopeless. When he was in the cave, when he was being mocked, when he lost his loved ones. But he never gave up. He kept walking. He kept trusting. And Allah opened doors that no human could ever open. So my brothers and sisters, do your part. Tie your camel. Make the effort. But don't drown in stress. Don't be paralyzed by fear. Don't let your heart carry what only Allah can carry. Let Allah lead you. He knows the way even when you don't. He sees the light even in your darkest moment. And He hears your dua even when you can't find the words. So stop worrying. Trust His timing. Trust His plan. And remember, with Allah you're always in safe hands. Trust in Allah is not just a concept we speak about. It's a way of life that transforms the way we think, feel and act. Trust means believing deep in your heart that no matter what is happening around you, Allah is fully aware, fully capable and fully in control. It's knowing that even when you don't understand the situation, there is wisdom in it, because it is from Him. Life is unpredictable. One day everything feels right, and the next day everything changes. In those moments of uncertainty, trust is what holds a believer firm. It is what keeps your heart steady when things seem to be falling apart. You trust that Allah hasn't abandoned you. You trust that His plan is better than your plan, even when your heart is breaking. The beauty of trust is that it shifts the burden from your shoulders to Allah's mercy. When you truly trust Him, you don't need to have every answer. You stop constantly asking, why me? And you start saying, Ya Allah, I know you are with me. Trust isn't passive. It doesn't mean you sit back and do nothing. It means you try your best, make dua, and then leave the result to Allah. You understand that success or failure in this dunya is not the end, because real success is in pleasing Allah. Sometimes Allah takes things away from you to replace them with something better. But at the moment of loss, we may not see it. Trust is what carries you through that darkness. It is what gives you peace even while you wait. You know that Allah's timing is never wrong. You might have asked for something in your door that hasn't arrived yet. Trust tells you that either it's on its way, or Allah has something even more suitable for you. This is not just optimism. It's faith backed by belief in the names and attributes of Allah. Al-Hakim, the All-Wise, Ar-Rahman, the Most Merciful. Al-Wakil, the ultimate trustee. When you trust Allah, you stop overthinking. You don't fear what's coming because you know who's in charge. You stop living in regret over the past because you know it was written with purpose. Tawakkul is one of the most powerful acts of the heart in Islam. It means placing your full reliance on Allah while still making the necessary effort. It's not about sitting back and doing nothing. hoping things will fall into place. It's about striving with everything you have and then handing over the outcome to Allah with complete contentment. Many people misunderstand tawakkul. They either leave everything to Allah without effort, or they rely entirely on themselves, forgetting that without Allah's help, even the smallest task becomes impossible. True tawakkul is the balance, the middle path between effort and surrender. The Prophet Muhammad taught us the real meaning of tawakkul through his life. When he migrated from Makkah to Medina, he didn't just walk into the desert without preparation. He took a companion, planned the route, arranged for supplies, and even hid in a cave for safety. But after all of that, he still relied on Allah. In the cave when Abu Bakr was afraid, the Prophet said, "Do not be sad. Indeed, Allah is with us." That is tawakkul. You do your part, and then your heart is at peace knowing Allah is with you. Tawakkul removes anxiety because you no longer feel that you are alone in facing life's tests. You might be working hard for a job, trying to heal from pain, praying for marriage, or struggling in your studies. When you have tawakkul, you give it your best, but your heart is calm, not desperate. You know that if Allah wants it for you, it will come to you even if the entire world tries to block it. And if He doesn't want it for you, then even if the entire world tries to hand it to you, it won't happen. This belief gives the heart incredible peace. Tawakkul also shows up when things don't go your way. You may not understand why something failed, but tawakkul means you trust that Allah is redirecting you to something better. It helps you accept qadar without bitterness. It teaches you to move forward without anger. You don't blame yourself endlessly because you know you did your part. And you don't blame Allah because you know He is the most wise. Tawakkul is not weakness. It's one of the greatest strengths of a believer. It takes real courage to let go and trust. Patience is one of the most emphasized qualities in the Quran and Sunnah, and for good reason. Life is filled with tests, delays, disappointments, and moments where things don't make sense. In those times, patience becomes your shield. It's not just about staying quiet or holding back frustration. Real patience is calmness of the heart, trust in Allah's plan, and restraint from complaining in ways that displease Him. Patience is what holds your faith together when things around you are falling apart. It allows you to carry your struggles with dignity because you know that the reward is coming, not always in the form you expect, but always in the way Allah knows is best. The Quran repeatedly tells us that Allah is with the patient. This closeness isn't only in the moments of ease after hardship, but also in the middle of the test itself. When you're exhausted, when you're crying in sujood, when your heart is breaking and there seems to be no solution, that's when Allah is near. That's when He is watching how you respond. And that's when patience becomes a form of worship. The angels are recording not just what you say, but what you hold back. The sighs you suppress, the anger you control, the words you choose not to say. All of it is written with reward. Patience also teaches you that not everything in life will happen on your schedule. We live in a world that celebrates speed and instant results, but Allah's plan is timeless. Some things take months, others take years, and some things may not be given in this life at all. But that doesn't mean Allah hasn't heard you. It means He's shaping you. Delays are not denials. They are divine timings that train the soul. Every moment of waiting with faith brings you closer to your Creator, polishes your character, and prepares you for what's next. Patience is also in how you deal with people. When someone wrongs you, when someone speaks harshly, when people misunderstand you, your silence, your forgiveness, your ability to take a step back instead of lashing out, all of that is part of patience. It doesn't mean you accept injustice, but it means you trust Allah to handle it in His perfect way. You understand that your reaction is a reflection of your strength, not your weakness. Guidance is one of the greatest gifts a person can receive from Allah. It is not just about knowing what is right and wrong, it's about having clarity in the heart, stability in decision-making, and the ability to stay on the straight path even when the world is pulling you in every direction. Guidance is light. Without it, even the most intelligent person can be lost. And with it, even someone with limited knowledge can walk firmly toward Allah. That is why the Prophet would constantly make dua for guidance, even though he was the most guided of all creation. He would say, "O Allah, guide me and keep me firm upon guidance." This shows that no one can claim to have guidance unless Allah gives it, and no one can keep it unless Allah protects it. Guidance is not something we receive once and never lose. It's something we must seek daily, just like we ask for it in every rak'ah of salah when we say, Idina siratal mustaqim, guide us to the straight path. That plea is repeated over and over because we constantly face distractions, temptations, doubts, and trials that can pull us away from the truth. Every time we follow a desire over a command of Allah, we're stepping off the path. Every time we choose convenience over sincerity, we're risking misguidance. But the moment we return to Allah with sincerity, that path opens again. That is the mercy of Allah. He doesn't shut the door to guidance, no matter how far you've gone, as long as you sincerely want to come back. Sometimes guidance comes through hardship. Allah allows something difficult in your life not to punish you, but to wake you up. He guides you through loss, through pain, through heartbreak, moments that humble you and remind you that this life is temporary and your real success is in returning to Him. At times we ask Allah for guidance and then something happens that doesn't go our way. A plan fails, a relationship ends, a dream shatters, and we feel like our life is off track. But in reality, Allah is guiding you away from harm and toward what will benefit you most in the long term. But the challenge is that we don't always recognize it in the moment. Guidance doesn't always feel easy, but it always leads to peace. Surrendering to Allah does not mean giving up on life or becoming passive. It means letting go of the illusion that you control everything and accepting that there is a Lord who knows more than you, sees more than you, and plans better than you ever could. It is the realization that your strength is limited, your vision is limited, and your understanding is limited. But Allah's is not. Surrender is about peace. It's when you say, Ya Allah, I don't know what's best for me, but you do. I'm tired of trying to force everything to go my way. I'm putting it all in your hands now. That moment, that shift in the heart, is where real transformation begins. So many of our problems come from trying to fight reality, trying to control the uncontrollable. We worry about the future, stress over things we can't change, hold on to people who are not meant to stay, and keep replaying the past. But surrender teaches us that Allah's plan is always unfolding, and our role is to walk with it, not against it. When you surrender to Allah, you stop asking why something happened and start asking what Allah wants to teach you through it. You stop being angry at delays and start trusting in divine timing. You stop chasing people or opportunities and start turning to Allah, the source of everything. Surrender is also an act of worship. It is when the heart says, I submit to you not because I have no choice, but because I know you love me more than I love myself. It is when obedience